Good morning, relatives. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe it's a glass of water, a hot cup of tea or coffee. Maybe it's even a cozy sweater or a warm blanket. Also, if you'd like to smudge with me and you have items at home, now's a great time to grab those items as we begin to ignite the healing within. If you don't have smudge at home, that's okay, relatives. We'll send some cleansing, healing, and positive energy your way. It's another sunrise. This is our opportunity to start again and to start fresh. Aloha, kakahiaka, hello, and good morning. My name is Malia, and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care and wellness into our daily lives. And we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So thank you so much for joining us today, relatives. I want to start by introducing our HIR Wellness Institute team member that is here with us. We have one of our CARES counseling interns, Odessa Peters, and when you see the HIR Wellness Institute commenting, that is Odessa. Good morning, Odessa. How are you doing? We also have our occupational therapist, Claudia Meyer-Smith. How are you doing, Claudia? Checking in with you. Odessa, myself, and Claudia, we all bring our own unique gifts and talents given to us by the Creator, and we are here to use those gifts and talents to serve you today. If you need any assistance, feel free to inbox us on Facebook Messenger, HIR Wellness Institute, or as always, we invite you to join us right here on these videos. Comment on the thread. I want to say to everyone out there that you are welcome here. We're so happy that you're here joining us this morning as we reflect. We decide what it is that we need for the day. We honor who we are. It's a great way to start the day. Good morning, Donna. I see you out there. How you doing, Donna? Good morning, Matilda. So good to see you back. So wonderful to see all of you. And if I didn't say your name, relatives, I want to know that you are welcome here. If you're new to these pages, or you've been here for a long time, or you're returning, that's great. We're so happy to know that you're here with us as we practice community activated medicine. Community activated medicine means that the people are the medicine. And right now, right here, we're all practicing this in the circle of care, being able to lean into each other when we need it, to allow others to lean on us when they need it. And if the people are the medicine, that means right here, right now, we have the ability to do our own part of our healing. Our own part of our healing with our heart, our mind, our bodies, and our spirits. Colby, great to see you. Good morning. How you doing, Colby? So how you doing, relatives? We'll do a check-in. Now, you don't have to comment if you don't want to, but you can. And I always encourage it because sometimes it feels good to get it out. But if you don't want to, that's okay. Either way, let's take a moment to scan our bodies. Take a deep breath, pay attention, and see if there's any areas in your body where you might be feeling tension or discomfort. Maybe your shoulders are tight, maybe you're feeling it in your jaw or your lower back, even your knees. What about your heart? Is there anything that's laying heavy in your heart? Feelings or emotions? Or your head? Are there any thoughts that kept you up late last night? Anything that's circling around in there that you just keep thinking about? And while you're taking a moment to reflect, I'm going to prepare myself my little morning elixir. I have myself my little mason jar. Any cup will do. Some filtered water. Half of a lemon. Doesn't matter if the seeds are in there or not. I'm just going to squeeze it. Just digging right up in there. If you care to share, relatives, let us know what you're having today in your elixir this morning. Maybe it's a cup of tea. Maybe it's some kombucha. Maybe it's just a big glass of water. All right, relatives. So we're seeing how you're doing, checking in. Odessa says, I've been having a really hard emotional week, and I'm taking one day at a time. With that said, I'm feeling productive and ready to take on the day. Making sure I take time for self-care and to listen to my body and know when to take some breaks. Thanks for sharing, Odessa. Glad to know that you're taking some breaks today and listening to your body, taking time for those moments of self-care. That all sounds just right, relatives. Odessa, we're halfway there, and hopefully tomorrow, I think you work tomorrow too, so I don't think you get the day off, but it's good to know that you are taking some moments and taking some time. Odessa says she's drinking fava, peach, ginger, black tea. Very yummy. Sounds delicious. And Claudia is drinking holy basil tea and water. All of these teas are amazing. As far as the holy basil tea, relatives, if you're not familiar with holy basil, um, there's a lot of great things about this tea. Um, our plant relatives, their medicines, holy basil is first of all, it's an analgesic, so if you're feeling pain or discomfort, it's a great tea to drink for that. Also, considering that we are in COVID times right now, um, it's an excellent tea to drink consistently. The reason is because it's antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal. So it's a great tea to drink. It has a very earthy green flavor to it. You just boil the water, throw the tea leaves in there, steep for 5 minutes. It is caffeine free. It's another good point if you don't want to worry about drinking stimulants. Um, there's just so many. It's good for blood sugar. It's good for the metabolism. and the list goes on and on. The other great point about Holy Basil Tea, relatives, is that it is affordable. It's on the lower end of the price point for teas, and it's plentiful. So I highly recommend, if you haven't tried Holy Basil, um, give it a try and put it into your mix of your medicines, your daily medicines. However, that being said, relatives, if you are taking certain medications or medications in general, or whenever you're going to integrate a natural medicine or any type of wellness routine into your daily life, it's important that you talk to a healthcare professional that you trust. Maybe it's your physician or a nurse, your nutritionist, um, all of those people, because um, as we know, our natural medicines can be very powerful. And particularly if you are on prescription medications, there can be some adverse effects. So always check with someone first before you start integrating that into your routine. Matilda says, my morning elixir was also lemon, lime, and warm water. Matilda, how you doing? Yes, so relatives, great morning beverage. Any citrus you have on hand, a lemon or a lime, might even be a grapefruit, just some filtered water, squeeze it into there. It's an excellent, of course, we need vitamin C every day to, it helps regulate our metabolism and our body functions, but it also helps with your immunity. So, COVID times, again, it's always good to put citrus in your water, in your food when you can. My cat is on my kitchen counter. That is so annoying. And he's doing it too because he knows I can't yell at him while I'm on here with you all. Sorry. So, anyways, um, also with citrus too is that it does help. It's very, very good for the skin. So yeah, we need vitamin C every day. I encourage you. It's a really, really pleasant way to integrate some self-care into your morning right away. And when you get that citrus water in the morning, it really, on an empty tummy, before you start the day, before you get your coffee, it really does cleanse the body. So here's to all of our relatives out there in good health. This is for you. Just to remember to take some time to your day to focus on you. My cat is really getting on my nerves right now. He's looking at me, just knowing that he's on my breakfast nook. Ugh. Um, Matilda asks, where do I find Holy Basil tea? It's there is a tea store in Wisconsin, Matilda, and they deliver. You can order online. It's called Fava Tea, Fava, Fava, like fava beans, favatea.com. They are a local tea company here in Wisconsin. They make the most beautiful teas, outstanding teas, relatives. For our elders group, I remember when I first joined our elders book club, and this was before COVID, and I came to the elders group and I brought a bunch of teas. And it's a morning book club, and I said to all of our elders in the group, would you like a cup of tea? And they're all like, nah, I got coffee. No, no thanks, no. And then um, I said, okay, if you don't drink it, no worries, but give this tea a smell. So I passed around these fava teas, and one of them in particular was winter spice. Every single elder who smelled that jar of tea drank the tea. They even chose it over their coffee that day. And then many of the elders went to go buy it. So fava tea, it's a very, very high quality tea, no matter whether you get the herbal tea, the white teas, the black teas. Thank you so much. Odessa just posted the website right here directly to the Holy Basil. Um, Relatives teas, if you haven't gotten into them, I know many people are coffee people, or maybe you do both. But let me tell you about teas. They are as diverse as people in the world. They are a reflection of the beauty and diversity of our Earth Mother. They're a reflection of the medicines and healing that we have available to us. They taste delicious. All of them are different colors. Every color of tea you can find just about. The flavors, the healing properties are amazing. I can't say enough. And relatives, I don't get sponsored by Fava Tea or anything like that. But I've been a tea drinker for a long time, and I have to say that this tea company is really truly outstanding. So that's my what I'll say about teas. Matilda says make wedge for the website. You're right on the ball. Awesome. Yes, Odessa. Thanks, Matilda, so much. Odessa says she loves fava tea too, and Odessa and I, we both have something in common. We are very much foodies. We like to eat things and drink things and delicious, wholesome things. And I promise you, fava tea relatives truly is good. Claudia says for your kitties, foil on the counter and surfaces they shouldn't be on. It does work. Good to know, because this cat is just I should show you what my cat is doing right now, relatives. He is so out of line. Let me see if you can see him. See that black cat on my counter right there? See him? Mm-mm-mm. That naughty that naughty little black cat. Thanks, Claudia. But also, that reminds me that not only are our, plant relatives medicines, but also our four-legged relatives are good medicine. So he's lucky he's far away, and then he allows me to pet him and slow my heart rate and give me love. Because, and if I weren't on this video right now, I'd definitely be yelling at him. All right, relatives, let's go into our deep breathing. Deep breathing slows down the heart rate, can slow down a busy mind. It helps to bring us to our center, and it's grounding. Deep breathing, like a good cup of tea or a glass of lemon water, is really, really, um, it's a really immediate way, a seemingly small action to practice self-care that has really powerful benefits. I've been deep breathing with you all for I think 8 months now, over 8 months. I no longer have insomnia. I sleep through the night, and I got out of that cyclical thinking of just overthinking and my head just going places where it doesn't need to go. Deep breathing can help you to just become centered, and in that stillness, in that silence, our mind can just take a break because we have overly active minds as Western people. And in that silence, we become aware of the language of the heart, and the language of the heart does not have words, which allows our brain to relax. And there in the heart is the language of emotions, of love. And when we're in that stillness, that language, what speaks that language is spirit. And when we tap into the deep breathing, it taps us into our heart. It brings us into the awareness of what is always innately there with us, our spirit. And that is being in a place of light, being in a place of expansion and love. So deep breathing is healing, and it connects us to our higher selves. It connects us to the Creator. It connects us to gratitude. It's very healing. So I have my feet flat on the floor. Now, we've been focusing this week because I want to do a different breathing technique every week. This is gratitude breathing. So as we breathe in through the nose, the belly expands, and we're going to bring in feelings, thoughts of what we are grateful for. And relatives, no matter how hard it is, because it is hard. It's hard to exist, right? It's hard to be. The world has a lot going on right now, but there's always infinite things to be grateful for. So as we breathe in, choose at least one thing. Maybe it's that you have a bed to sleep in or a rooftop on your head. Maybe you don't have a rooftop, but you have food to eat, clothes on your back. Maybe it's your children you're grateful for, or your job, or the ability to be able to rest tomorrow. Whatever it is, relatives. Let's breathe it in. We'll bring it to our heart space. And as we exhale through the mouth, we're going to release those feelings that are laying heavy in our heart, or spinning in our mind, or creating tension or discomfort in the body. Are you ready, relatives? Here we go. Deep inhale. And exhale. Letting go of those thoughts and feelings, emotions that aren't serving you. Deep inhale, bring in the gratitude. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Deep inhale through the nose. Another thoughts of gratitude. And exhale and release. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale and release. One more deep breath. And exhale and release. Come here, birdie. I want to show you my kitten too. Here's one of the people, one of the little guys I'm grateful for. Here's a little Purdy, Perdita, Perdita Cranberry, my tiny little kitten. How do you feel, relatives? All right, let's go ahead and go into our stretches. Okay, so I have a cat on my back. But all right, relatives, we'll go into our stretching. Now, every week I've been wanting to focus on different stretches as well. And this week we're going to focus on the shoulders, releasing that tension. So we'll continue to breathe. Now, we hold a lot of tension and stress in our shoulders. You might even be one of those people who has your shoulders up to your ears like this and not notice. So what we want to do is we want to push them down and back. And now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to just push my shoulder blades back together and hold it there. So push back, deep breathe, inhale, hold it, and exhale and release. Try again, pushing the shoulders back, inhale. Odessa asks, how's she doing? Purdy is doing very well. She is the boss of the house. She's less than 2 pounds. I have 2 other cats. They're full grown. They're big. They're boys. And she is the little boss. I call her the Mugwai after midnight because I don't know if you remember the movie Gremlins. It was a Christmas horror movie in the 80s. And if you feed a cute little Mugwai after midnight, they turn into gremlins, and that's her. So she's my Mugwai after midnight. All right, holding it there, squeezing and release. One more time, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Hold it there. All right, now we're going to shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Hold it. And exhale and release. Again, shrugging the shoulders. Hold it there. Exhale and release. Again, one last time. And release. We're going to clasp those hands together, pushing the palms out and up towards the ceiling. And as we bend to the side and center and back to the side and center, you might hear some cracks in the back. That's okay as long as it feels okay. We're releasing some tension there. Oh, that feels good. Alrighty. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stretch the hands and fingers now. So we do, if we type a lot or we do work a lot with our hands, we do have a lot of tension in there as well. So we're going to bring the hand forward. We're going to stretch that wrist and forearm. And then we're going to take each finger And just gently pull on each finger, each one. Continuing to breathe. Stretching each finger nice and gentle here. And relatives, see these moments of self-care. They can be very gentle and very soothing. And they can be like seemingly small things, but when we take a moment to just be in our bodies, to be present, to feel our bodies, to allow ourselves to be gentle, it gives us space to reflect and to just heal and be present. Also, if you have pain or tension in your joints, sometimes we do, but we don't even realize because maybe our hands are so tense all the time. You can always squeeze the just above the knuckle here, just squeeze on each part of the finger. Hand massage is really, really, man, it feels good. And the last one. All right, relatives. How'd that feel? How you doing? And if you're coming in just now, please do feel free to check in. We want to know how you are. Feel free to type it in the comment box. We can reflect on it. We can talk about what you're going through. We can just take a moment just to honor it. So every time that we meet, I do share the lunar phase that we're in according to my ancestral teachings, Keala Okamahina, or the native Hawaiian lunar calendar and pathway to the moon. I share my culture with you because I strongly, strongly believe and know in my heart and through my experiences that culture is medicine. And no matter what color of the rainbow you are, no matter what your spiritual beliefs are or are not, no matter what chiefdom, clan, or tribe you're from, or whatever geographic location you originate from, culture is medicine, and it can be very, very healing to focus on some of the aspects of our culture that feel good to us, that we enjoy. Maybe it's through beadwork. I have a lot of relatives who do beading. Maybe it's through, like we made corn husk dolls earlier this week with our Daughters of Tradition. Maybe it's through your cultural dances or your stories. Maybe it's just learning about your genealogy or your ancestry. And for those relatives out there, because there are a lot of them who say, I don't know as much about my culture as I want to, or honestly, I just don't really know much at all about my culture. And that's okay, relatives. But I want you to know it's never too late. Many of our elders that we work with, they will they'll start medicine culture as medicine very in their 70s or in their 80s even, and they still find it to be a beautiful thing and very, very healing for them. So the moon that we're in today, at least according to my ancestral teachings, is the moon Mohalu. And I want to talk about this lunar phase because it's very interesting. Um, First, I want to say that in the Keala Okamahina, or the pathway of the moon, in these ancestral teachings, in a month, as Native Hawaiians, we traditionally believe there's only three anahulu or weeks. So there's three of them. There's 3 weeks in the month. So that means that each week period is 10 days long. And we're in the second day of the of the second 10-day period. So we're right in the middle, almost at the center of the moon phase. Now the word mohalu, which is the moon that we're in today, means flower. So if you were to go outside tonight, the moon will look about 98% full. It'll have a little sliver of black. And it's a good time if you're in an area where you can plant flowering plants. It's a good time for that. Southeastern Wisconsin, the Midwest, it's not a good time for planting. But in other regions of the world, maybe it is for you. Also, fishing is very good. When we're in the lunar phases, it's a really, really good time to fish, and it's going to get even better for the next couple of days. Now, if you're not a fisherman or a gardener, what does that mean? How can we integrate the energy of the moon into a way that can be put into our self-care or wellness routine? Well, the way that I like to think of it is as we're in this moon Mohalu. And as Indigenous people, we've always learned the cycles in nature as a reflection of how we can sort of act in a way that's healing towards us, because what we see in nature is so telling of what's good for us. So I always think if when we're in this flower moon, we're in the moon of Mohalu, and the energy of the moon is growing and things are becoming more active. The fish are becoming more active. The plants are becoming more active. What you can, how you can interpret that into your self-care routine is um, is just know that the energy is serving you right, that in self-care and in wellness, that this can really help us to blossom into what it is that we want and what it is that we need. Tomorrow, that moon energy is going to get stronger and it's going to go into the moon hua. And hua is like the gems or the gems of the earth, things like fruit and eggs and things that the earth gives us as these gifts that do nourish us and help us grow. So I think of it this way, when you are able to do self-care and acts of self-care and wellness today, what that does is that really does help you in your growth. And when we talk about planting things during these moon phases, it really, when you plant things around full moons, right, it really does help to expedite the growth process. It actually nurtures the growth process. And that's why this pathway of the moon was created by our ancestors, so that we could understand at what times and what actions we're supposed to take that does nourish us and that does contribute to our health and our wellness. So today, tomorrow, really do know that all of this energy that you've been putting in towards your self-care and wellness over the course of these lunar phases really does start to blossom at this time. I'm hoping that you feel that in a way of, you have moments of abundance and joy and gratitude these next few days. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I do want to talk about that as well, because Thanksgiving, some of us do celebrate it and some of us don't. And our Indigenous relatives, our relatives, Turtle Island relatives, this can be a time where we really do need to, reflect on, what we want and what we need, and to be really kind to ourselves, and also focus on the abundance that we have. Um, and, we will talk about Thanksgiving tomorrow, because um, it's important, particularly for those of us who don't feel good about it. And we can talk about it tomorrow. I absolutely feel that we should all be here tomorrow. So if you want to start the day in reflection and honor, and we can talk about things that are on your mind when we are on Thanksgiving tomorrow. Um, Hi, Barbara. How you doing? Barbara is one of our community healers, an outright amazing, amazing Indigenous Ho-Chunk woman, an artist, and also our advocacy director. Um, Barbara wants to know which cat is that, Panda or Popo. So I have three cats. I know we're officially a cat family. Um, but we just adopted one, and our black cat Popo, he's the smart one. He was on my countertop, and then this tiny little kitten named Perdita Cranberry, Purdy for short, was crawling all over me. Um, so Terrell, good morning. Good to see you. Um, McWitch says, or Matilda says, McWitch for introducing hand therapy. It's helpful for my stiff fingers. Matilda, yes, thank you so much for saying so. Stretch them, relatives, all day, every day. Take a moment And also too, Matilda, good for the joints, relatives. If you have joints or like inflammation and your like maybe your knees hurt or your arches of your feet, your fingers, that kind of thing. When you have pain that way, there are teas that can help support that. Holy basil is another one. So drinking the holy basil, also turmeric teas, fresh turmeric, I love it. It's one of my favorite teas. I don't buy turmeric from a tea store. I just go to the grocery store and use turmeric. Just buy turmeric root, peel it, coin slice it, boil it. You can mix that with ginger too. All excellent for joint pain. And another really good natural medicine for joint pain is pure, unadulterated, unsweetened cherry juice, black cherry juice, tart cherry juice, anything without sugar in it. And the cherry juice doesn't need sugar. It tastes amazing if you just get it fresh, or it doesn't have to be fresh, but at your health food store, at your grocery store, get the cherry juice with no added sugar. Same thing with cranberry juice if you can handle it, because it can be really tart. But if it's too tart, any of these juices, you can just mix them with filtered water. It won't taste as sweet, but it'll have that light flavor to it. And it's really good for inflammation of the joints. So relatives, if you have stiff joints, those are some really great natural medicines to put into your day, and also very pleasant. The reason we stay away from the sugar, particularly if you're having joint pain or you're feeling stiff, sugar in the juices will actually will contribute to that inflammation and that stiffness. Trini, good morning. So glad you're here with us. Trini says I'm on my way to work, so I can't be present here today, but my spirit is. Oh, I love that, Trini. Thank you so much. Yes, have a great day. Have a great day. Okay, relatives, before we go, I do want to just talk a little bit about culture, culture as medicine, and I'm going to go to Google and see if there are any positive affirmations for culture, and let's see what comes up. So far there's been a positive affirmation that for everything that I've looked for, and so let's see. Positive affirmations for culture. Well, I did find a positive affirmation coloring book. That's cool. They actually don't have positive affirmations for culture, but I do have this book here that I want to share with you. I want to say I love this book. And oh gosh, I love this book so much. This book is The Four Sacred Gifts by Dr. Anita L. Sanchez. She is an Indigenous woman. And I'll read some of the excerpts out of here because they are absolutely beautiful. We just finished this book for our elders book club here at the HIR Wellness Institute. We do our book clubs virtually. So if you are an elder and you're interested, do know that we are starting our book club next year. It'll be sometime around January or February, and all our services and programs are free, relatives. So if you are an elder, you can join our book club, and it's just outstanding. All right, so there are so many beautiful things in here, but I'll just pull a random quote that I found. And this is one about culture as medicine for spirit as dance. When we dance, we are in direct communication with the Great Spirit. I'll keep it at that. When we dance, we are in direct communication with the Great Spirit. And for me, that means so much because I think about hula. Hula is one of my cultural dances. It's very sacred to me. It does connect me to culture, it connects me to my ancestors. And it makes me think to you, relatives, question for you: how do you connect to your culture? How do you connect to your ancestors? You can choose to answer that if you want. Um, or not, but think about it for a moment if you like. Also, Claudia says, I have been drinking 2 cups of holy basil tea since we went virtual 8+ months ago. My legs and feet have bothered me for over 7 years. Within the last few months, they are bothering me less. I am grateful to the tea for any assist in helping the legs feel well. Claudia, this is amazing, an outstanding testament to the power of our natural medicines. Holy basil tea really is one of those ways. Also, relatives, if you choose in the morning, before you do anything, before you drink your coffee or your tea or whatever, wake up in the morning, get yourself a glass of filtered water. Maybe you have a filter on your fridge or on your tap. I highly, highly, really want to say, relatives, um, my personal opinion, but also I've seen a lot of research on it. Do get a filter for your water. Do get a tap filter, because otherwise, sadly, our sacred water is loaded with things from hormones to lead to chlorine to fluoride to you name it. There's a lot of stuff in our water, and we really want to be able to filter that. So you'll get filtered water. You can squeeze grapefruit or lemon or lime in it and start your day that way. And you'll notice that your skin starts to glow a little bit more. You'll notice that you feel more cleansed in the morning. And when you even start drinking that lemon water, you might notice right away that it breaks up, like, I don't know, our bodies just have mucus and our insides respond to things when we're eating foods that have lots of chemicals and preservatives. We develop sort of like a wall of mucus that's all in our body. So when we drink this, it really does help to cleanse it. You will even feel sometimes like the little breakup of that or the loosening of that. And it really does help to aid the inside of the body. It does cleanse us. And you need that vitamin C every day, relatives. So if you're looking for something real easy and affordable to start with your wellness routine, get your 3 to 5 lemons for $1, or 3 lemons for $1, 2 lemons for $1 at the store. Even better if you can get them organic. They can cost more sometimes, though. So sometimes I don't always buy organic. I can't always afford it. But then we also, you can get 5 limes for $1, things like that. And just half of one, just putting it in your water every day can have really powerful benefits for your body. Your body will thank you. Okay, I'm gonna read one last excerpt in here, and this is about the sacred hoop, and this talks about community activated medicine, which, remember, relatives, the people are the medicine. Right here, right now, we are practicing community activated medicine. And this is actually a quote that was said at Standing Rock, North Dakota, by Pat McCabe, who is she's Dene from the Navajo Nation. We are not and can never be lone individuals. We are the sum total of our actions as a species, and this is why we can leave nobody out. We, as a species holding one part of the hoop of life, are responsible for upholding that part. If we do not, the hoop begins to fail. The hoop of life does not understand us and them. The hoop of life understands only we. When we get confused, we can remember a very simple equation. Truth equals life. Any action, intention, prayer that any one of us makes that is for life automatically makes you a revolutionary on behalf of your kind. My prayer is to be able to act in every moment in a way that upholds the tremendous honor of being a human being. I stand beneath the Holy Father Sun, living star, and all the ancient star beings, and all that is beyond, on an endlessly creative Mother Earth, ceaselessly blessing life, with my relatives, the swimming ones, the flying ones, the creepy crawly ones, the four-legged ones, the standing nation, the trees, the ancient waters of life, perfect in my design to receive the sacred gift of thriving life. I want the stars to see that I know this is who I am and this is who we are. I want to live, really live with all of my relatives. Show us the truth. Show us what real love is. I am willing. We were born into beauty, as beauty, for joyful, thriving life. That is the truth. In beauty, it is finished. In beauty, it is finished. Pat McCabe, Wiyakpa Najinwin, Woman Stand Shining Dene from the Navajo Nation. We're all connected. Plant relatives, our sacred medicines, our waters, our trees, our Mother Earth, our Father Sky, us. We're all connected. And that is what community activated medicine is about, to be together, to heal together, to celebrate together, to cry, and to laugh together. Before we go, relatives, tomorrow is, for some people, Thanksgiving, but it is also Indigenous peoples day, Indigenous peoples month, year, everything in my opinion, but it is that, so we can talk about it. We can talk about our feelings for Thanksgiving tomorrow. We can honor what we need to. We can let go of what we need to. We can talk about what bothers us about that. We can talk about historical trauma. Anything you need, relatives, tomorrow we can talk about it. Claudia says, making rice stuffing, that's a family recipe that predates my grandma. Wow, Claudia. It is our favorite holiday dish. I think love flows from past generations in this recipe. Food is medicine. Food is honoring our ancestors, Claudia. Thank you. Cheryl says it sounds good. I make a wild rice casserole for the holidays for my mom's family. Yes, Terrell. Ooh, sounds delish. Matilda says, I was very blessed to take a trip to Standing Rock with my husband. I found it very empowering, made me so proud of who I was. That's awesome, Matilda. Oh, thank you for sharing. I want to meet you one day, Matilda. I'm hoping so very much. Thank you for sharing. All right, relatives, before we go, two things. One, for our relatives out there who aren't doing okay today, I want to remind you, as I will every time that we meet, that it is okay not to be okay. But if you're not doing all right, be kind to yourselves, relatives, and also reach out to someone that you trust that you can talk to. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even a coworker. And you can also call our Cares Warm line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you can call or text. And within 24 hours, you'll be connected to one of our Cares Warm counselors. Odessa and I know each and every one of them. So does Claudia, so does Barbara. We know them all personally. They are outstanding people who are passionate on walking alongside you on your path and journey of self-care, wellness, and mental health. Do know that when you call or text, it is judgment-free, it is stigma-free, and we're here for you to be able to lean into us. So no shame, relatives. There's no stigma. Everyone needs mental health, including me, including every single one of us here on these videos, including all of our team members. We're here for you. Know that our services are always completely free. We will never charge a penny for any of our services, nor will we ever ask to see an insurance card. We believe that it is everyone's right as a human being to have access to mental health, to self-care and wellness, to healing, to culture. You know, relatives, that we are here for you. We support you no matter where you are in your journey of life. wellness and self-care. Know that you deserve it. Know that whatever it is that you want in life that serves you, that serves your needs, that serves your highest self, that serves your joy and happiness, that you absolutely deserve it. It is your right to be happy. The Creator gave us the ability to experience laughter, joy, gratitude, love, positivity, because it is our right. It is part of what we are meant to experience. And when we experience healing and joy and laughter and love, when we experience these things, we begin to live back in that cycle. We begin to heal from our historical trauma. We get to heal from our pain. And when we consistently take actions of self-care and wellness throughout our day that seem so small but have such a huge outcome, we are practicing in healing. We are practicing in releasing that pain. When we become more joyful, we become more full of gratitude. We become more strong. We become more resilient. And life continues to always be something that we can truly honor and appreciate. So, relatives, I want to say mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Mala mopono I kokino. Take good, righteous care of your mind, your body, your heart, your spirit. Aloha nui, huge love to you all. And before we go, there is a community survey linked to this video. It's completely anonymous and asks just a few questions. It's how we're able to keep our services completely free of charge. So please, if you haven't yet, relatives, do take a moment to fill out this survey. And it also helps us to understand how best to serve you, our relatives. Ahui ho akuno. We'll see you later. Have a great evening, everyone, and aloha.